Hello there. Good afternoon. My name is Larry Camacho. I'm the acting principal here at Sherman Indian High School, and I'd like to welcome both you and your student or students to our school. Also would like to thank you for choosing us for your students' education. We here at Sherman really do appreciate the fact that you trust us to educate your son or daughter for these next 9 months that we'll all be together. We here at Sherman have a pretty extensive academic program. If you aren't familiar with us, we do offer courses all across all subjects for grades 9 through 12. In addition to that, we've also introduced over the last few years a number of honors courses for those students who are high achievers and looking to increase their value to potential future colleges or universities, and also increase their grade point average while they're here with us. We have honors classes in all 4 of the core subjects: math, science, English, and social science. We also have a few upper level classes in some of our other departments such as fine arts, and we also have what's often referred to as a career technical education, but here at Sherman we call it pathways. And there are 7 different courses or lines of work that students could participate in while they're here at Sherman in the Pathways program. Our Pathways program includes a public safety pathway, construction, small engines and electricity, agricultural science, graphic design, health careers, and probably our most popular pathway, that is culinary. So students have an opportunity to take coursework in one of those 7 pathways as well as their regular course subjects. We also have a PE department, fine art department, our 4 core subjects, our pathways program, and our resource department for students who need a little extra help. In addition to that, as you probably already know, we do have our dorms. Right now we are currently only operating 3 dorms. We have 2 dorms for our female students, 1 dorm for our male students, and as a precaution, in the event somebody does test positive for COVID-19, we do have a quarantine dorm in place, and it is staffed as needed. It is open only when it's needed, and we do, if students are reporting symptoms of COVID-19, we are testing. If they test positive, then they will be assigned to our quarantine dorm until they test negative. One of the big advantages of Sherman is that we do have available to us Indian Health Services Clinic right here on campus, and their job there is to care for and treat our students as needed. So if students aren't feeling well, they're free to come into the attendance office, talk to one of their teachers or one of their dorm staff, and schedule an appointment. And the nurse practitioner and her team over at the clinic will do their best to try to see that student in the same day. Some of the illnesses can be treated here. They are allowed to prescribe medication, and we will provide all that for our students. But in the event that there is something that is a little more serious and needs a little bit more care than we can provide here, then we will transport students over to urgent care, the hospital, or if they have appointments off campus with another doctor, then we will provide the transportation to get those students to those appointments. So we really do try our very best to treat as much as we can here on campus, and if we can't, then we will get them the proper health care that they need. We also have a licensed social worker that is in the IHS clinic, and she is here to meet with students and provide any sort of counseling services that are necessary to make sure that student stays mentally healthy. Sherman also has an athletic program, so students can participate in extracurricular sports after school. We have currently right now, we're in the fall season since we're just starting school, and so the boys have football and they can run cross country. Girls can also run cross country, and then we also have a volleyball team for the girls to participate in as well. Come November, we'll be kicking off our winter season for athletics, and that's going to be all basketball all the time. So we have both boys and girls basketball, and we will have varsity and JV teams for basketball. Then when we hit February, we'll begin our spring season of sports. It's the last season of sports here. And girls will have fast pitch softball, the boys will have baseball, and both the girls and boys will have track and field to participate in. This year at Sherman, I'm encouraging all the students to participate in what we call School Plus One. We found over the years that if students are participating in something extracurricular and not just going back to their dorms, we tend to A, retain them for a lot longer, and B, they tend to return to us much more than students who do not participate in an extracurricular activity. For example, over the last few years that we had sports prior to COVID-19, over 80% of our students returned to us if they participated in at least one season of sports during the previous school year. So we're pretty excited about our extracurricular program this year. I encourage many of our teachers and many of our home living staff to bring in new clubs that students are interested in joining, and also clubs that will attract a big number of students just so they have something else to do during the after school hours. So among some of the newer clubs that we have on campus, teachers have suggested having a chess club, a game club, a craft club. All of our dorms do have clubs, and they stay active and they fundraise for all their different dorm trips that they want to do during the school year. But we also are hoping to add a few more. Last week when we had our orientation week, we did have a club rush day, and we did ask students to give us ideas for other clubs, and there were a number of ideas that were presented. And so now we're just trying to find a staff here on campus that will be willing to participate and sponsor those different clubs. So we are trying to have as many extracurricular activities as we possibly can available for our students. In addition to that, Miss Lori Sisquak, who's our native cultural and traditions leader here on campus, offers a number of programs during the week that students can participate in after school and even after dinner going into the evening hours. She does teach 2 classes here. She does teach museum studies in the afternoon, so these are both classes that are after lunch. Students can participate and help learn how to run, document, tag items and such over in our Sherman Indian Museum. And then she also has other activities that she does in the Clark Center, in the Native Language Rooms, and also in the Sherman Indian Museum. So Miss Sisquak stays pretty busy during the week, keeping our kids, our students, involved and learning about not just their own culture, but about some of the other cultures that are here on campus. In fact, one of the events that she hosts during the week on Wednesdays is a cultural sharing group. And that gives our students an opportunity to sit down and learn about students who come from other parts of the country, to learn about their cultures and their traditions and what they do at different times of the year for different celebrations. So it's an opportunity for students to come together and grow and learn about other cultures besides their own. She also has some classes that are taught either by other students or outside volunteers who come in on dancing, like fancy shawl dancing. She also has a drum group that will come in and work with some of the boys on how to make drums, and then also practicing drums. And so she's really got a lot of people that she can rely on to come in and help her to teach some of these skills to our students. So we're excited about our cultural program that we have on campus as well. Plus, she operates a pretty cool little museum down there. If you're not familiar with it, it's actually the last building from the original build of Sherman Indian High School, going all the way back to 1902 when they first started building our campus here in Riverside. In addition to all that, we do have the home living department, so our students are in their dorms. They do have their dorm staff there. Each student is assigned to a different unit. Each unit has a different dorm staff that is their leader, and we break them up into smaller groups, and we have a a dorm staff that's assigned to them, so they kind of keep an eye on them, check up on them, and those are usually the people who know our students the best because they see them after school. Those are the people that generally our students will confide in and tell them what's going on if they're having a hard time with the class, and they'll reach out to a teacher and let them know, or they'll reach out to our clinic if they're not feeling well or they need maybe a little bit of mental health help as well. And we also have a recreation department here for the after school hours as well. And this year we're lucky to have some new individuals that'll be working over in the recreation department. And we're excited because they have lots of new ideas and they're excited about bringing in some more intramural type programs for our students to participate in. So even if your student likes sports but isn't confident enough to go and play for one of the teams that represents Sherman, they can still participate in some sports here on campus because our recreation department is aiming to have more activities for our students to participate in after school and on the weekends as well. So we're looking forward to having more tournaments and being able to keep our students busy during those times when there's really not a lot to do. Also have lots of off-campus activities that are planned. Obviously, being here in Southern California and being here in Riverside, we're centrally located to beaches, mountains. We're close to LA, we're close to San Diego, we're close to Orange County, and we're hoping that we have more opportunity this year now that we're a little bit further removed from COVID to take our students to some of the different attractions that are around our area here in Southern California. Last year we started a new tradition here at Sherman. Since we don't have a spring break, we had a week of minimum days and a week of afternoon activities in March, and then we also introduced a week of minimum days in April to coincide with our school powwow. Our school powwow will return in full this coming up April. The last couple of years we haven't been able to host a powwow, and last year we had a small one for students only, but this year we'll be returning to our big annual powwow, and we'll be able to, for the first time in 3 years, welcome guests from outside of campus to visit our campus and attend our powwow. So we're excited about that. That'll be coming up in April. But we will have a cultural week that week, and we'll be leading into our Miss Sherman pageant, and then we'll also lead into the powwow that week as well. So we do have lots of things planned for our students coming up in this upcoming school year, but one of the caveats that I put on that is for our students to behave and really try to be on their best behavior while they are here on campus. So far it's been pretty good, and I hope the students keep up the really good work. I do want to thank you once again for choosing Sherman to provide the education for your child this school year. We hope it's a good school year. We hope it's a fun school year. If you ever have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to give us a call. It's been busy this past couple of weeks, so if you've called, I do apologize. I haven't had a lot of time to get over to the messages, but once the craziness of the beginning of the school year starts to settle down, we'll be getting on those phone calls. We'll do a better job of answering phones, and we'll do a better job of calling people back. So I apologize if I haven't gotten to you and you've reached out to me. I'll do a better job starting next week. But if you do have any questions or concerns, you can always feel free to contact me. The school phone number is area code 951-276-6326. My extension is 207. Once again, my name is Larry Camacho. I'm the acting principal here at Sherman Indian High School. I'm excited for the 22-23 school year, and I'm excited that your son or your daughter has chosen us as their place for their education this year. Thank you and have a great day.